Several smartphone brands are reportedly preparing new wide foldable devices following the recent launch of the Huawei Pura X Max. Speculation has also suggested that Samsung could introduce a similar device alongside the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Galaxy Z Flip 8 later this year. Meanwhile, Apple is reportedly developing its first foldable iPhone, possibly called the iPhone Ultra, which could launch in September. And Federal Minister for Energy Awais Leghari on Monday announced that electricity prices in Pakistan will soon be so cheap that consumers will be able to store power in batteries during the day and use it at night. Speaking via video link at a conference in Lahore, the minister said that major reforms are being introduced in the energy sector to improve efficiency and reduce long-term costs. And European Union (EU) foreign ministers reached an agreement on Monday on new sanctions targeting violent Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank, as well as leading Hamas figures. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said the sanctions package, which targets 3 settlers and 4 settler organizations whose identities have yet to be publicly disclosed, had been blocked for months by the previous Hungarian government, which lost an election last month. And the most powerful figure in Bosnia and Herzegovina has confirmed that he is stepping down. Christian Schmidt has served as International High Representative since 2021, the second longest tenure of any High Representative. His time in the post was filled with conflict and controversy. And United States President Donald Trump has rejected Iran's response to his latest peace proposal to end the war, which has upended the global economy. Responding to the counterproposal Iran sent to the US via mediator Pakistan, Trump accused Iran of playing games in a post on his Truth Social platform on Sunday evening.
That Barcelona, Spain, draped in club flags and with their faces painted blue and maroon. Barcelona fan Max Dor and his father Nico joined thousands of others celebrating their team's crowning as La Liga champions under the glow of flares lighting up the night sky at the famous Plaza Catalunya in the Catalan capital. Playing at home, the football giants sealed their second consecutive Spanish league title with a 2-0 win over bitter rivals Real Madrid in a highly anticipated El Clasico on Sunday. That a United States citizen who was on the hantavirus hit MV Hondius cruise ship is the latest to test positive for the virus, while a French traveller has developed symptoms as the ship is being evacuated and passengers are returning to their home countries. Passengers began flying home on military and government planes after the ship anchored near Tenerife, the largest of Spain's Canary Islands, on Sunday. That TikTok is introducing an ad-free subscription plan in the UK that costs $3.99, about $5.44 USD per month. The new offering is rolling out over the coming months and will be available to users 18 and over. That users who sign up for the plan won't see ads on TikTok and their data won't be used for advertising purposes. The launch was likely driven by the UK's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, that which prohibits companies from collecting users' personal data for advertising purposes without their consent. That the Punjab government has decided to establish new Sahulat bazaars in 27 cities across the province as part of efforts to provide relief to citizens amid rising inflation. According to officials, the new markets will become operational from July 1 with the start of the new fiscal year. The government will also launch 13 Sahulat on-the-go mobile markets in multiple districts. That the upcoming Red Magic 11S Pro Plus has appeared in multiple Geekbench 6 listings ahead of its official launch, showing unusually high benchmark scores. According to reports, one listing for the device briefly crossed the 4,000-point mark in single-core performance before disappearing from the database. The phone reportedly scored around 4,010 points under the model number Nubia NX809J. That the Sindh government has announced summer vacations for schools across the province. According to the Sindh Education Department, summer holidays in schools will begin from June 1 and continue until July 31. Officials said the decision will apply to all public and private schools across Sindh.
And Samsung Display may be researching a new type of smartphone display technology that goes beyond foldable screens, according to a recent leak, information shared by leaker Schrödinger, also known as @PhoneFuturist on X, claims Samsung is internally developing a holographic display system under the codename MH1 or H1. And the Supreme Court, SC, on Monday dismissed a set of appeals instituted by Greentree Holdings Limited, GTH, against a June order by the Sindh High Court, SXC, which had held that GTH shares were the property of private equity firm, the resource group Pakistan, TRGP. The dispute revolves around a challenge to a June 2025 SHC judgment in which the SHC had allowed an application of former TRG CEO Mohammad Ziala Khan Chishti to be filed under company laws. And Islamabad. Human rights lawyer Iman Zainab Mazari Hazir and her husband Hadi Ali Chatha have submitted additional documents to the Supreme Court of Pakistan, bringing these on record before the hearing on Tuesday, May 12, on their plea, and which seeks to set aside the Islamabad High Court's IHC order denying interim relief in the controversial social media posts case. In December 2025, and Iman Mazari and her husband moved the Supreme Court to set aside the IHC's decision that denied the interim relief in the controversial social media post case against the couple. And the petition argued that the High Court had erroneously and illegally refused to exercise the discretion to grant ad interim relief to the petitioners to stay the criminal trial, and as recording of evidence before the trial court in their absence was not only a violation of Section 353 CRPC, but also their due process and fair trial rights under Article 10A of the Constitution. And the National Assembly on Monday unanimously approved a resolution hailing the armed forces' befitting response to India's unprovoked military aggression during last year's May conflict, the conflict with India, starting from the April 22 Pahalgam attack to the end of Operation Bunyanam Mahsoos, with a ceasefire between the two countries on May 10, has been dubbed Marka-i-Haq, Battle of Truth, by the state. And the European Council has terminated the partial suspension of a cooperation agreement with Syria, thereby restoring fuller trade ties with the country as it seeks to emerge from nearly 14 years of war. The Council said on Monday the move marked an important step towards strengthening relations between the European Union and Syria. And Discord on Monday unveiled Nitro Rewards, which gives Nitro subscribers access to offers from other gaming and lifestyle brands for no additional cost. Currently, Nitro offers upgrades to Discord itself and, like more profile customization options, HD streaming, and the ability to upload files of up to 500 megabytes. The subscription is optional, as you can easily use the platform without paying, which is an intentional design choice on Discord's part. But that also means user acquisition can be tricky. And the apparently insatiable demand for AI compute has data center entrepreneurs looking to the stars. There's a key problem. There aren't enough rockets to put data centers in orbit around the Earth, and they're too expensive. And most of the players are hoping that SpaceX's Starship, expected to make its 12th test flight as soon as this weekend, will solve the problem. But once the vehicle is operational, it may be years before it is commercially available, and given SpaceX's internal satellite business. The same is true for Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, which failed to deliver a satellite during its third launch in April. And a new study led by Duke Health found that tiny RNA molecules in the blood may help predict short-term survival in older adults. The research, conducted in collaboration with the University of Minnesota and published in Aging Cell, focused on small RNA molecules known as piRNAs. And traffic police in Lahore have intensified a crackdown against traffic violations on model roads under an ongoing enforcement campaign, taking action against thousands of motorists and motorcyclists over the past 2 weeks. And according to Lahore Traffic Police, action was taken against 33,456 vehicles and motorcycle riders during the campaign. Officials said 14,354 motorcycles were impounded at different police stations for dangerous driving, and while 9,839 motorists and riders faced action for lane line violations. And a new leak tied to Capcom has surfaced online, mentioning several rumored projects related to Resident Evil and Devil May Cry franchises. The information appeared after well-known Capcom leaker Dusk Golem confirmed claims from an anonymous insider that Ada Wong will appear in downloadable content for Resident Evil Requiem.
That Forza Horizon 6 has reportedly leaked online nearly a week before its scheduled release. According to reports, the full version of the upcoming racing game from Playground Games appeared on file-sharing sites over the weekend and was later cracked by pirates.
And Russian pharmaceutical company Zavod Medsyntez and its Pakistani partner Genetics Pharmaceuticals Private Limited plan to invest nearly $80 million in Pakistan's pharmaceutical sector to launch local insulin production, sources said on Monday. The investment will be carried out in 2 phases, including the establishment of an aseptic filling plant and a full-scale insulin manufacturing facility. And Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Monday extended the countrywide austerity drive till June 13. The Middle East war, which began with US-Israeli attacks on Iran on February 28th, has given rise to a global oil crisis. In order to deal with the situation, the government had announced unprecedented austerity measures on March 9th.
That Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested that former German Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder could coordinate talks with the European Union to secure a peace deal in Ukraine, a proposal met with skepticism by EU officials. European Council President Antonio Costa said recently he believed there was potential for the EU to negotiate with Russia and to discuss the future of Europe's security architecture. That Venmo is rolling out a significant redesign over the coming months that aims to make the app more useful, social, and easier to navigate. This is the peer-to-peer payments app's biggest refresh since 2021. The timing is notable. PayPal, which owns Venmo, that is restructuring to spin Venmo off as a standalone business unit, a move widely seen as laying the groundwork for a potential sale. Stripe has reportedly expressed interest in buying PayPal outright. In that context, that a splashy redesign looks less like a routine update and more like a window dressing job ahead of a transaction.
And a new study from Rutgers Health examined how the human brain combines fast and slow forms of information processing through its white matter communication networks. The research, published in Nature Communications, focused on how the brain manages information streams that operate across different timescales. Researchers said this coordination plays an important role in cognition, behavior, and the ability to respond to changing environments.
That the Higher Education Commission, HEC, has decided to re-examine the academic credentials of 36,931 students enrolled at unauthorized campuses through an independent verification process. The decision was taken during the 46th meeting of the HEC, chaired by Chairman Dr. Niaz Ahmad Akhtar. That Pakistan authorities have urged citizens to protect their personal information amid rising concerns over cybercrime and SIM misuse. In a public advisory, Sindh police warned people not to share their SIM cards, fingerprints, scenic details or other sensitive information with unnecessary individuals. That the next version of ChatGPT may just be called Goblin. This is because in a post on X, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman wrote, "What if we name the next model Goblin? Almost worth it to make you all happy."